Welcome back, ladies and gents, to another 10 things you didn't know about Payday 2. The last 10 things video was pretty well received, but I saw a few people suggesting the trivia was too easy for veteran players. So this time, I've turned to you guys for your favourite lesser known secrets in the game. While we're constantly reminded that Wolf is not a healthy human being and that Sydney's hair is not natural blue, who'd have thought, your suggestions were brilliant. So have I got an episode for you today. To be in with a chance of knowing some of these, you'd have to have been around with Payday 2 since the very beginning. As I did last time, I'm going to issue a challenge at the risk of my own analytics. If you learned something new today, let me know by hitting the like button, but if you knew everything and I've completely failed you, feel free to drop a dislike without a shred of guilt. This gives me an idea of just how tough these facts are and if I need to step up my game for the next episode. All of that out the way, without further ado, let's dive into number 1. I'm going to start you off with an easy one here, but one that if you didn't know, is going to blow your mind. This one was a really popular suggestion, but I think Realstar over on Twitter was the first to mention the secret hidden character passives. Generally in Payday 2, your character selection impacts very little gameplay wise, changing just your voice lines and the hands you see in first person. But did you know, for 2 characters in the game, you get a little more than that. You see, Jiro and Bodhi are the only characters you can play as that have unique interactions with specific enemies and weapons. For Jiro, his trusty katana allows him to take out all that frustration on nearby cloakers, granting him a unique decapitation or bisection animation depending on where your hit lands. Keep in mind, for this to happen, you need to charge the katana for at least 2 seconds. It's also pretty notable that Jiro's interaction with the katana is completely unique, screaming when he swings during assaults, but being deathly silent in between them. This attention to detail really elevates Jiro as a character in my mind. For Bodhi, his vendetta against tasers means that he can perform the same sort of head-removing trick as Jiro, but this time using his signature platypus sniper rifle. Don't ask me to explain the physics behind this one, that hole is a lot bigger than it should be. In at number 2, we have a collection of video game Easter eggs. Many of you have already pointed out the Team Fortress 2 sentries in Henry's Rock and the train heist, as well as the famous Big Bank stock reel, which references many of Valve's gaming properties. However, these are not the only examples of gaming crossover secrets. For one, when on the heist Meltdown, head over to the warehouse locker room. Here you can find a crowbar with a chalk message scribbled above it. The message reads, "Freeman was here," alluding to the crowbar-wielding Gordon Freeman from the Half-Life series. Also, as first pointed out by Meme Machine, the pink bottle in the Golden Green Casino heist is named the Pinky Demon after one of the classic enemy types from the Doom series. While not all game related, the other drinks have similar pop culture and alcoholic references. Red Dragon is a nod to the film Red Dragon, the Silence of the Lambs offshoot. The blue drink, or Ocean's 10, is a reference to the Ocean's films, another fictional heisting series, and Jägerheister is obviously a more Payday-styled version of a Jägermeister. These drinks also have some very interesting ingredients now I look at them, including green pepper and MDMA, apparently. Let's test your knowledge with an actually useful and intended game mechanic next. It's something you may have thought of, but not taken that risk to try out for yourself. What I'm talking about is using up as aced with the self-reviving medkits to survive otherwise lethal falls. Let's say your teammates are the sort of lemmings who jump off the infamous Shadow Raid ledge. Well, I have just the solution for you. Set up your first aid kits in the radius of a planned landing zone, and any fatal jump can easily be survived. In all seriousness, this can actually be a useful and time-saving technique. Heists like Big Bank jump to mind in particular, as with the right setup, you can make a rapid descent into the main hall from the rooftop, often bamboozling the pathing of most pursuing cops. Next up, if you like that tip for loud, how about one for stealth? Did you know you can pass through laser walls at the same time as a guard without the lasers detecting you? As the guard passes through a laser doorway, you're given a short window to tailgate through as the lasers are deactivated so they don't set off the alarm. This is common sense, but when you think about it, can be a genuine if risky strategy. An easy example would be a heist like Art Gallery, allowing you to get around the entire show floor without having to loop all the way around. I've seen this used and attempted a fair bit, but more usefully, try it out on Hoxton Revenge. If done correctly, you can get inside the building without ever having to rush to the alarm. It's a tricky but incredibly cool maneuver when you pull it off, well worth adding to your stealth toolbox. This next one goes back a long way to year 1 of Payday 2. You see, what few people realise is that 2 of our beloved heisters have had different voice actors portray them in-game. Most people know Chains' voice actor changed between games, and obviously Hoxton was very different at launch. But as Tuffcooke, one of our community moderators, reminded me, Dallas returned to the Payday 2 beta with an incredibly thick Texan accent.
Keep them hands visible.
Fortunately, in my opinion, as funny as these old lines sound, we got the medic bag needing Dallas we know and love today.
Ah! I need a medic bag!
A similar thing happened with Clover, where strangely the heister with a clear Irish heritage and inspiration started life voice acted as a Scot. We can actually see this original voice in the Happy Birthday CrimeNet teaser trailer, where she displays this thick and sinister Scottish accent.
Happy birthday, dear CrimeNet.
Probably a relief to Clover fans, we ended up with a much more understated sounding character. Voiced by Aoife Duffin and revealed in the Diamond trailer, she has some of the most nuanced voice work in the game.
Cursed? Maybe. I don't know if I believe that.
Up next, I'm hoping to catch some of you out with a more obscure mechanical secret. Have you ever had additional cops called on you during the time lock section of Big Bank? I'm sure you have, but did you know that this is no random occurrence? In fact, its chance of occurring is directly tied to your civ control in the earlier stages of the mission. For every civilian you kill, this random event becomes more likely in increments of 4%. So if you've managed to pacifist your way through so far, you'll have zero chance of being punished by misfortune.
Sucker fell for it.
Alternatively, if you and your crew have laid waste to portions of the map, there's a pretty high chance that you'll have a couple of extra guards to deal with for the rest of the heist.
Stay sharp, clowns. Gensec are coming.
I love that this rewards clean stealth gameplay and would like to see more mechanics like this experimented with in the future, as I often find killing civs to be a bit underpunished. As of now, this is a pretty unique interaction. Here's another one to watch out for in your gameplay. Don't assume just because you bag some loot it's safe and secure. In the game there are several instances where your bags can be completely destroyed, wasting all your hard work and cutting into your bottom line. Specific examples include the attack chopper on Hotline Miami blowing up your coke bags and the remaining fire doing the same, the rotor blade shredding your coke on missions like White Christmas, and being able to actively destroy museum artifacts, making them unbaggable. I guess that one's not much of a surprise, but especially when going loud on missions like the Diamond, watch your precious loot carefully if you want to reap the full rewards. Again, let me take you back in time to the Payday 2 beta. Imagine this, you've just completed your very first jewelry store, received your money and experience, and now you're excited to see that you and your 3 partners in crime get to pick an extra random reward. Well, cue immeasurable disappointment when the cards reveal 4 of the exact same pattern, the electric center. I mean, I guess it's cool and all, but why did we all get the same thing, you ask? Well, at the time there was a coding bug affecting how rewards were being generated, so pretty much everyone was just earning electric centers, even from other drop types. This led to the pattern becoming somewhat of a meme, being a dreaded reward to the point that as the game went to full release, Overkill switched it to an infamous rarity pattern, joining some of the best in the game. Partially to immortalize it, and probably because players were so fed up with seeing the damn thing, making it rarer meant they wouldn't bump into it as often. Up next, we've got a slightly less serious one. As the Griff pointed out to me on Twitter, the taser quote, "a lightning bolt," references an old LARPing video from 2005.
Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt!
Definitely not the only meme in the game, but one obscure enough that some of you may not know it, and at least for me, now gets a laugh every time a taser starts to roleplay on me.
Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt!
Finally, to top things off, here's one that I'd actually never noticed as it was absent from the Payday the Heist version of the mission. It was recently pointed out to me that it's possible for the grill in Counterfeit to catch fire after about 20 minutes of being left unattended, thanks to Mitchell being an irresponsible chef. Mitchell himself will even comment on it when it happens, meaning holding out to do a little fake money printing yourself is well worth your time for this funny little Easter egg. And that does it for this top 10. I've loved putting this one together and greatly appreciate all the amazing submissions from you in the community. Everyone who contributed will be able to see their names immortalized down in the description. More of my further content is going to be dictated by and involving you guys, especially as I intend to start streaming again in the not too distant future. There were too many brilliant suggestions for just this one video though, so know that I'm coming out with another one of these things you didn't know lists very soon. Coming up next on the channel, we're heading back to the Payday story, so stay tuned. Thanks a lot for watching, commenting and sticking around on the channel, the support's been brilliant lately, and I'll see you all in the next Payday video.